I'm going to show you how to do a week's worth of frugal and healthy meals for your family on the super cheap. Welcome back again today, friends. You will see in this video how I feed my family of 11 for $100. It's actually under $100. That is coming up. Now, last fall, per request of many viewers, I did an emergency extreme grocery budget haul where I did over 210 large family meals for $115. Of course, people call it so many things: meals, servings, portions, but it was 7 days of food for $115 based on the emergency extreme grocery budget haul that I did for you and based on cooking up all that food for a week for my family. And I had a second video that came out that showed the 7 days of budget recipes and cheap ideas. And what I have done for you all this time is I have shopped again. I came in at, okay, $91. Yes, I focused on frugal and healthy dinners for a week. And there's enough leftovers to get some extra dinners or lunches or however you need to serve it up for your family. So we took this $100 bill, we went into Walmart, just walking on in there, having a good old time. I was thinking, I wasn't sure if it was going to be a little over 100. I had priced things ahead, but I was thrilled, again, in today's economy, for what we ended up getting out of the store for. And so I'm using my new How I Feed My Family of 11 for $100 pack. You can click the first link in the description below and sign up and get that pack for free. It includes the grocery list with everything that I bought, all the recipes that I used, plus additional bonus ideas on how to stretch your grocery budget a little bit more and also get more breakfast and lunches in to feed your family very frugally for an entire week. Here's the peppers. I needed some of those for the recipes coming up. They were 78 cents each. I also have my onions there. I'm weighing those because those were per pound. I think we got about 3 pounds. Yep, there we go. For the onions. And then I'm looking for the best price for potatoes there. So that was $5.48 for a 5-pound bag of red potatoes. And now we're going to need some carrots. So I'm debating my carrot prices there. That was 98 cents. Now, if I would have known I had a few dollars extra to stretch, I would have got the several pound bag of carrots. I think it was 3 pounds for $2.98. Because then when you're stretching your budget, you can do things like carrot sticks and add carrots to other meals or do steamed carrots as a side. Now we're going through the freezer section. I'm checking out all they have to offer there. And now buying chicken. So another thing when shopping for these frugal recipes in general, obviously anything you already have at home is only going to save you more money if you're able to shop from your freezers and shop from your pantry. I am buying this food to show as an example on how you can go to the grocery store with only $100 and my meal pack and feed your family super frugally as if you had nothing to start with. Because I do hear from viewers who are on extreme grocery budgets or may not have a lot stocked up. And so this is how I did it to show you how it can be done for a week. And then, of course, if you have cans of beans, if you have some chicken in your freezer, if you already have some celery, those kind of things will make your shopping even more frugal. And I did not cost compare with going to an Aldi. Of course, if you have an Aldi, you very well may be able to save even more there. I was shopping in a Walmart in a town on this evening that does not have an Aldi. So I used Walmart as an example. Remember, friend, to click the first link in the description below and get your own copy of How I Feed My Family of 11 for $100. And we know it's under $100 for this week's worth of frugal dinners that also includes leftovers for lunches and extra dinners. And if you're a large family, it'll take care of you for a week. You will have many more portions to add to your freezer stash, which can help feed your family for weeks to come. So again, click the first link in the description below and sign up now to get the new How I Feed My Family of 11 for $100, pack 1 for free. So we need a 32-ounce box of spaghetti and a 16-ounce box of spaghetti. They're out of all the Great Value brand spaghetti noodles that are cheaper than a lot of these name brand noodles. So I'm going to switch out just the noodle type. It'll be the same recipes, but we'll get 1 box of linguine, and then hey, for extra fun, let's get 2 boxes of fettuccine. These are only 92 cents each, but I did have to squat down and pull these forward to even see that they were still here. So just something to keep your eye out for with the noodles. Okay, never mind. The 3 pounds of spaghetti is for 1 recipe, so I'll keep it all the same noodle style, at least since they have it. I'll put back the linguine and get the fettuccine. Optional. So yes, that chicken broth is optional. I decided to just save another little bit and make homemade broth with the chicken that I was already cooking for the recipes, but that's still included in the pack, so you know that you need it. So they are out of the 5-pound bags of brown rice. They have a 20-pound bag of white rice. I will get the 5-pound bag of white rice for now. Okay, so the bread we're going to use to do some homemade garlic toast with various recipes. Alrighty, so we've got the protein, the produce, bread, rice, pasta, canned goods, and now we just need to get the dairy and the spices. So I'm not seeing crushed rosemary here for a good price, but this is rosemary leaves. This will work, $1.94. So for this week of frugal cooking, we are doing slow cooker beans and rice. We are also doing 2 10 by 15 pans of creamy chicken spaghetti. That is fantastic because that's either 2 nights of dinners, at least for my family, or that's a one for now, one for later freezer meal. Those freeze up lovely. Use them however you need it for your family. We're also going to do a big stock pot of homemade chicken soup. We're doing Instant Pot Mexican rice with pinto beans, and we're also going to do a big Denver scramble. Total for this week, I get 77 meals for my family of 11. So here we go. It came to just a little bit, I think it was $91.89. And I'm going to show you how I feed my family of 11 this week for now under $100. My goal was $100. A couple things came out a little cheaper. And yeah, just the way it worked at Walmart this evening. I was also prepared it might go a few dollars over 100. So super thrilled. Then that just goes to show with that extra $8, there's definitely additional things from the store that you can add to your meals in addition to everything we're going to cook up here. Alrighty friends, so here is my official receipt, $91.89. I did price this because I wanted to get it right for you all. Priced it on Walmart.com, shopping at one of my local Walmarts, and it still came in under $100, but it wasn't quite $91. So anyway, I feel like the most expensive thing in this entire haul, it was the 5 pounds of shredded cheese. That was $17.68. The cans of beans were 72 cents each. The little can of chilies was 76 cents. The crushed tomatoes was 98 cents. The 5-pound bag of potatoes was $5.48. The 5-pound bag of white rice, that's a couple dollars savings right there. They just didn't have the 5-pound bag of brown rice tonight. So white rice is generally cheaper. It was $2.58 for the 5-pound bag. The cream of mushroom soups were $1.38 each. The spices were anywhere from 98 cents to $1.94. Those bell peppers were 78 cents each. The celery was $1.74. The pint of whole milk was $2.26. The eggs were $2.28 a dozen. The spread was $3.28. Sour cream was $2.66. The 4 sticks of butter was $3.58. More spices. The ham steaks were $4.24. Then those 3 boxes of fettuccine were 92 cents each. I went for the white bread, just trying to show even more savings for you all. Those were 93 cents each. And then the pound of carrots was 98 cents. The onions came to just a little over 3 pounds. They were $2.99. And then the 3-pound bag of boneless, skinless chicken thighs was $9.94. So the subtotal was $89.65, and then we got tax though, and that brings us to the $91.89. So let's get cooking. So friends, we are back from doing that grocery shopping where I took a $100 bill. We came in under $100, $91 and some change. I'm going to show you how to do a week's worth of frugal and healthy meals for your family on the super cheap. Now I am doing this as meals for my family of 11. If you follow my exact grocery shopping list and my exact meal plan, you can also click down in the description below and you can get the entire pack for free on how I feed my family of 11 for $100, but it's actually under $100, and you will have that grocery list right there, so you can take it to your Walmart or your Aldi or anywhere local and shop along with me and cook up these exact same recipes. Point being, if you are a family of 11, these 5 recipes should stretch to be enough dinners, including the leftovers for 7 nights of dinners. Plus, you will have some leftovers to carry over for some servings for lunches as well. Yay, $91 in today's economy. If you are an even smaller family, you should be able to get some portions in your freezer to help you fill your freezer with frugal freezer meals for the upcoming weeks as well. I would love to hear how you use these meals and stretch it and make it work for your family. Let's get cooking right now with our day 1 meals. So friends, we have our 5-pound bag of white rice. I'm gonna go ahead and get the 8 cups of rice cooking in the Instant Pot for some upcoming meals, and we'll have some rice left over. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and do this 3-pound bag of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I'm gonna get this going in the Instant Pot as well. So get ready, Instant Pot, it's gonna be a busy day. So we got the 8 cups of rice going in the Instant Pot. If you were able to find brown rice at your local store, you can also do that in the Instant Pot just the same. I've now pulled my Go Wise pressure cooker up from the depths of my basement, and I am going to cook all 3 pounds of these boneless, skinless chicken thighs in my pressure cooker. Let me say, it's absolutely whatever chicken you can get a hold of. This is just my suggestion. Usually it's a little cheaper. You can also get bone-in chicken, which you can still find for a pretty good price some places. Also, if you just need to throw a whole chicken, like an entire chicken, in your pressure cooker or your slow cooker, go ahead and do that. And then you just peel the chicken from the bones. And you can also make homemade chicken broth just by adding water in with your chicken. Also, if you don't have an Instant Pot or another electric pressure cooker, you can use your slow cookers. You can do your rice in the slow cooker. Look in the description below and I'll have a link for you for that. You can also boil your chicken on the stovetop. That's what I did for many years when I was really stretching my grocery budget down to the penny. I would just buy a whole bag of the bone-in chicken thighs and chicken quarter pieces. I would boil the whole bag. That would leave me with a whole stock pot full of broth, and I would peel all that chicken meat from the bones, and that would be my chicken for a lot of the casseroles and fried rice and chicken soup and other recipes that I would make for my family that I would actually stretch over an entire month. So our rice is done. So these are the rest of the ingredients that we purchased for the slow cooker beans and rice. We have 3 green peppers. We're going to use 6 of the celery ribs. We have 2 onions, some chili powder, garlic powder, black pepper, 2 15.5 ounce cans, the light red kidney beans, whatever kind of kidney bean you get a hold of, 2 15-ounce cans of black beans, and then 2 28-ounce cans of the diced tomatoes. And it doesn't necessarily have to be this Italian style. It's whatever the best priced diced tomatoes is that you can get a hold of will help with this recipe. Also, truth be told, my recipe has about 1/4 of a cup of Worcestershire sauce in it. Guess who can't find it? This lady right here. It has walked off. Can't find any more in my pantry storage. Can't find any in my refrigerator. It's okay. It'll be okay. Also, towards the end is when you stir in your 4 cups of already cooked rice. And then we're also going to stir in about 1 cup of sour cream and some cheese. But we're going to prep these veggies. We're going to just saute them just for a few minutes in a little bit of oil. Whatever oil you have on hand will work. You can also use butter for that as well. Then we're going to get all of these goodies in the slow cooker. And towards the end, we'll add those extra things in together. Alrighty, so now our sauteed celery and peppers and onions. We're just going to add all of these to the slow cooker. Now, in the recipe, I talk about rinsing and draining your beans. You can certainly do that if you would like. There's different reasons that people rinse and drain their beans, especially with super frugal cooking and stretching my grocery budget just to the penny. I always just dumped my entire cans of beans, including all the liquid, in. Anything that I was making, I was using canned beans. So have it your way when it comes to your beans. I figure it just added more nutrients in, and also help stretch those meals even just a little speck. I'm gonna get my seasonings open here in a minute. Now we're gonna add in the diced tomatoes. Did you notice? I didn't even think to tell you all, but you need to know. This is now my new can opener. It has been here a few days. It is still alive. The little magnet works. The whole thing works. Hamilton Beach brand. I actually ordered it on Amazon, even though I could have picked it up at Walmart, but Amazon was quicker. And there we go. Welcome to the family, new can opener. A tablespoon of chili powder, and then 2 teaspoons of garlic powder.
I'm not seeing any.
and then a teaspoon of black pepper. All right, so I'm gonna mix this all up now. Now this is in a 7-quart slow cooker, and we're getting pretty full. Ideally, an 8-quart, or I also have a 10-quart, are great ones to cook this recipe in. I will still be able to get in the 4 cups of rice. A little later, it will cook down just a bit, but we're gonna mix that rice all the way through, and it makes a very yummy meal. And also we will be mixing in a cup of sour cream and some shredded cheese at that time as well. And so you can cook this on low for about 6 hours, or cook it on high for about 3 to 4 hours. And let me look at you here when I'm talking to you. If you have any additional proteins that you can add in, I mean, this would be great to add in already cooked ground turkey, or if you have some ground beef already cooked in your freezer. If you have some chicken, I'm using the chicken that we already got in this grocery order and other recipes, but feel free to add in, I mean, sausage would be great. Oh, just so many great options. So make it your own, add to it whatever else you have on hand if you would like to do so. And I mean, if you end up with 6 cups of rice, add more rice into it. It'll be great. Make it stretch into more meals for your family. And don't let my kitchen clutter scare you, because your kitchen doesn't have to be cluttered. But in the J. Morrell online cooking matrix, this is how things are. I'm hopeful for the new kitchen though, I sure am. Okay. So again, 7-quart slow cooker. This shows an 8 or a 10. Would have been a little better, but that's okay. All the bulk is added, so now we're just going to mix in the sour cream and the cheese. So here are our bowls. There's more than enough for seconds, thirds, lunches, any other way we want to spin it. If you have the extra cheese left, which I do have extra cheese in this bag, we still have recipes that we need to use this cheese for, but I believe I have enough to add some sprinkles to this, to both of the different beans and rice variation recipes that I'm going to share with you in this video. Now for our next meal, we are doing 2 10 by 15 pans of creamy chicken spaghetti. Of course, we have the boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We're going to use a couple cups of chicken from that. We also, now at my Walmart on that evening, the fettuccine noodles were the only ones that we could get 3 matchy boxes on, so that's what we went with, being a little fancy with our great value noodles. Also, we got 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, 2 cans of green chilies. We have our sour cream that we're using across a couple recipes, and also our shredded cheese that we're using across a couple different recipes as well. And so this 10 by 15 pans full, you can of course do those in 9 by 13 dishes. I'm guesstimating you would get about 3 9 by 13 pans, and even more if you're using the 8 by 8 pans, or I think there's a 9 by 10. Just stretch it and get as many pans of meals as you can out of this recipe. It also freezes well. Just wrap it well, label it, put it in your freezer, and this is a great, what I like to call Mama's Sanity Saving dinner, to just pull out the day before, put it in your refrigerator, and then on that evening, put it in your oven, cook it up for your family, and of course, as you're able, add other side items with it. Now, this would be a good one to do like some butter and garlic toast in the oven with, using the ingredients that we purchased in this $91 grocery haul. Of course, if you have more in your budget, you can add fresh vegetables. If you have vegetables in your garden, if you want to make homemade cream of mushroom soup, if you want to use a different variety of noodles, we're just focusing on what we got in this frugal haul. But again, like everything, make it work for you. Okay, and now I'm adding in these boxes of fettuccine to do our, I guess we can call it creamy chicken fettuccine, right? Since we had a life upgrade with the noodles that were available. Okay, and I'm just gonna mix everything for this baked spaghetti, or a baked fettuccine pot that we cook the noodles in. Okay, so in Shopping Adventures with J. Morrell, on the grocery list that I've included, it is for the 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup. The recipe calls for 1.5 cans. I'm going to go ahead and use the full amount of both of these cans because I don't have anything to use the other 1/2 can for. You could, with the rest of the 5-pound bag of potatoes, you could do a potato scramble and also use that 1/2 can of cream of mushroom soup with it. You could even do a potato soup and include that 1/2 can of cream of mushroom soup in that as well. And I'm also going to put in both cans of these green chilies because we have them. Now, hopefully in my little $91 grocery haul, I bought 2 cans of green chilies, or because in my J. Morrell grocery vortex, cooking for YouTube vortex, if an extra can got included, sorry about that. I'm assuming because this was in my, I'm going to cook this video for these people and help them with frugal recipes grocery haul, that can was in one of my Walmart bags. So anyway, hopefully I did not mess this up. Now we're going to add in 3 cups of shredded cheese and then 1.5 cups or so of sour cream. As we always say, my handful of cheese, of shredded cheese, is a cup of cheese around the world. I almost forgot to add in the actual shredded chicken. Don't forget that. now I will get both of these 10 by 15 casserole pans in the oven. All right, and so here's how our baked chicken fettuccine has turned out. Here are both of our pans. And this is also a meal with those green apples that we got. You could have some green apple slices on the side with this as well. Now I'm going to make plates for my family. These are our 11 plates, and you will see that there is still at least 4 servings left in this pan, and then we have a whole other pan left as well. With this baked chicken spaghetti, I've added green chilies to it. It also would be really good with peas, or even peas and carrots. If you have those in a can even, just stretching the casserole a little further, you could swap out the green chilies for those. Or really any other vegetable. I mean, corn would work. It all makes for good frugal dinners. So here we go. This was one night's dinner and maybe half a helping from this other pan. So I'm going to wrap this up, and this will be another dinner meal or spread over a couple lunches. And so yay for the baked chicken spaghetti turned into baked fettuccine spaghetti. Alrighty, so now we are working on our homemade chicken soup stock pot. Now in the recipe that I included in the free How I Feed My Family for $100 pack, that's again, it's linked down below, I'm only use about 4 carrots in that stock pot of chicken soup and only about 4 potatoes. And I have the celery that's left from when we did the slow cooker beans and rice for our first meal. So adapting it a little bit, and you will have these extra ingredients to work with too when you follow that grocery list. I'm going to go ahead and chop up this celery and use it in the stock pot of chicken soup. This is where you could stretch. You could go ahead and use all of these potatoes in that soup. That is just fine. You can also go ahead and use all of the additional carrots that are left in that soup as well. But again, if you only have 4 carrots, it'll totally work. I'm going to save these red potatoes and do some roasted red potatoes on another evening, but the option is there. You can also take these red potatoes and roast them and put some cheese on top perhaps, and that could totally be a lunch or another meal in and of itself. But just letting you know, I'm going to go ahead and use this extra celery up in the soup. I'm wavering back and forth if I use the extra carrots or not in the soup. I think I'm going to get into this and see how the inspiration hits, but just know you're going to have some extra carrots as well. They can be added into different recipes, or you can make some homemade carrot sticks. And I'm just going to pick off the few funky looking celery leaves that I have, but for the most part I'm chopping up everything else to put in our big pot of chicken soup. And now in the directions, I also shared about putting the carrots in a bowl of water and putting them in the microwave to soften them a little faster. The same can be done with the celery. If you have more time, you can just simmer them on the stove for longer. Just depends on how much time you have until dinner. With this stock pot of chicken soup, we also add in about 4 cups of rice. You could, if you had some other noodles left over, I just suggest cooking your noodles first and adding those in towards the end. If you have longer time, and if you, let's say, didn't have rice that was already pre-cooked, you can put your rice in raw and let it cook over time in your stock pot as well. So it looks like it's 8 carrots total that came in that bag. And because I have animals, I'm skinning my carrots, and I will feed those carrot peels either to the pigs or to the chickens and the turkeys and the ducks and the goose. You can also, if you don't have animals to feed the skins to, you can just put all these skins in a baggie and put them in your freezer. And then later, when you want to make vegetable broth, simmered chicken broth or beef broth, whenever you want to throw in vegetable scraps, you could throw in these carrots. We are going to use the chicken broth that cooked whenever we cooked the chicken originally. And we are also going to just add in some extra water. We will not be taking the time to do another broth besides as our soup cooks. But you can definitely, I encourage you to save these carrot skins to make a nutritious broth like that in an upcoming meal. Again, if you don't have another creature that you are feeding, that could also benefit from them. And now this is twice as many carrots as originally intended, however we have them. So I'm going to just fill this all the way up with water, run it through the microwave for several minutes, and we will dump the entire carrots and the carrot broth that we make as well. And then we're also going to do it with this extra celery. And if it is less expensive, depending on where you grocery shop, to just pick up a couple individual potatoes. I mean, things are just so wild right now, it's hard to tell. Or if you don't buy any potatoes because you have a couple left, right? I'm just going to chop up the 4 for this particular recipe, but you just do whatever your best option is. And you can make your potato sizes whatever size you would like. I feel like these should be a little smaller, so I'm just going back over mine. Makes you feel like I'm stretching these 4 potatoes a little more. And whenever we got the 2 loaves of bread in this cheap grocery shopping pack that I'm giving you guys link below, I was thinking more that it would be great to go as side items with several of these recipes. Again, can just be a regular butter toast, but you can also, so you can put a little bit of the butter in a bowl and sprinkle in some garlic powder, and you could warm that just a few seconds just to soften your butter a little bit, and then you could use that garlic butter spread to make garlic butter toast. Again, it's going to go great with things like this chicken soup. Also, with the dollars that we had left when I spent $91, I didn't even think of this at that time, but as far as if that's what you had for your week's worth of dinners, plus to have some leftovers for lunches, you could also get a box or two, whatever deal you can find there as far as stretching for saltines. Because lots of people, I know Travis, he likes having crackers with soup as well. Okay, so here's our carrots that we've softened. Now we're going to do the same to the celery. Okay, so the chicken that we cooked the other day from the 3-pound bag of the boneless skinless chicken thighs and the broth that was made for that, what is left we are pouring in here in our pot of soup. I still got some little pieces here I'm going to scrape out. It all adds up when you're doing chicken soup. And that's our potatoes. And now from overhead here I'm going to pour in my celery water. then of course, as with any soup, you can add in as much water as you would like to stretch your soup. This is, I believe, a 14-quart pot that I am cooking in. I'm going to let this cook for a little bit longer here, just now that we've put all the seasonings and such in. You can also, I could have stretched that chicken more. I could have added more water to it to make some more. We've got Tobin in the background cheering us on. To make some more broth to go along with this. You just salt and pepper it to taste whenever you are adding more water to it. And I still might add another 4 to 8 more cups once this gets going. But just eyeball it and keep stretching it as much as you can. There's also more room for more rice in here if you would like. So here we go with our stock pot of chicken soup. This is all very hot, so I do have to let it cool for a few minutes. Again, with the amount that was left, with the $100 challenge, as we can call it, there was definitely room in the budget to still get some like knockoff Ritz crackers, some kind of butter crackers, or just regular old saltines. Those are still usually under $1 a box in my area. I am going to do a slice of buttered toast with these bowls of soup, since I did not get the crackers whenever I did shopping for this. And you can see in our pot we have enough left for lunches for another day and additional second helpings this evening, if that's just the way the soup pot turns, right? Remember, if you have additional veggies at your house, you can throw in a variety of different veggies, and even canned veggies if you'd like. Also, you can add in more rice. You can switch the rice out for the noodles. There's lots of different ways that you can bulk up your soup pot and get many more meals out of it. Well, friends, for dinner this evening, we are doing the Denver Scramble. And so I'll show you what I got laid out here on the table. We've got our green peppers, our onion. We're having dishes are being washed over yonder. Let's see, 24 eggs. We got some butter, got some different ingredients. So let's get this all chopped up. We're gonna put our onion and our peppers in the pan to saute a little bit. We've got some ham steaks that we're gonna chop up, and also add those in with the veggies. And then we're gonna add our egg mixture in last and cook that up, and it'll be a delicious, nutritious dinner. So here is everything that I have. I actually have 2 extra eggs that we're adding to this. This is the ham steaks. We're gonna chop these up. This is the cheese that we have available. Also gonna chop up these green peppers and this onion. Gotta still pull the butter out. We're gonna use a little bit of this milk. With an example of stretching your grocery dollars with this half gallon of milk, if you also had just a couple bucks extra to work with, if you were looking for potentially up to several days or a week's worth of nutritious breakfast, get yourself a container of oatmeal. You can do oatmeal with water and any kind of sweetener that you have, but if you have this milk from this grocery haul that I give you for free down in the description below, you get the grocery list and the recipes and everything with it. You could use the milk from that haul added with the extra oatmeal that you're able to pick up and have many, many breakfasts for your family. You can also get a little fancy. You can do bake oatmeal. The green apples that we bought in this grocery haul, you could slice up and also add to your oatmeal. Lots of ways to stretch it. So of course, this only happens to me. This won't happen to you. But a contractor came because we've had something going on in our downstairs bathroom. A water leak. Was it my washer? Was it the other plumbers? We don't know. But got downstairs talking to him. Of course, left these peppers and onions cooking. So you're gonna see some burnt onions. For the sake of the video, there are no burnt onions here. Okay, we're gonna gaslight these onions. So anyway, let's continue cooking because I'm not chopping another onion, but that's my reasoning. I went away to deal with another contractor who's gonna fix stuff for me. I got some burnt onions. Maybe I'll pick them out. Okay, let's see. I will tell you, this little tripod that I have. Hey Gabriel, can you hand me a paper plate, please? This little tripod's pretty miserable because it doesn't matter, just anything. I'm gonna, now that I said we're gonna ignore these onions, now I'm picking out these onions. So, if you all got a contractor that's gonna come fix a situation, maybe move your pan to the back. The kids were telling me that he was here, and I forgot to tell my mom that he was coming, and I didn't want her to go around the corner in the basement and be scared because there's a man there that we weren't expecting. So, you know, just mama handling all the stuff, right? Thank you, Gabriel. Now I have an assistant and paper plates. So here you go. Here's how you can handle your onion situation if you do get distracted. Just going to pick them out for a minute. Just the real obvious ones. I did turn my heat off. Let's see if I don't catch the paper plate on fire. That would be nice. Okay, that's going to be it. We're going to add the ham to this. Gabriel's being my kitchen assistant right now. Our dishwasher's down, but we have 2 new dishwashers coming to the new kitchen. The ones that go in the mixer, I have 2, and one of them is wrong. So just look up in that little...
the electric one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably in that green little bucket that I have. There. Okay.
One more or 2 more?
Well, give me the ones you see, because I don't know which ones go in that one. Anyway, I feel like I owe you the basement bathroom story. So, my timeline's a little off. At some point in life, the kids started telling me that there was water coming down into the basement bathroom shower. At the same time, we were dealing with our washing machine upstairs leaking, okay? But also, not too long before that, the plumbing contractors were here to do the water lines for the kitchen, and they cut into a main line that runs also over the top of that bathroom shower downstairs. Several pipes doing their plumbing things down there. They cut into the main line. So I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. I know on my end, what I was involved in is we dealt with, you know, cleaning the filter and just trying to get this washer to stop leaking. Sometimes it would be a little leak, sometimes not at all, sometimes a lot. Called the local repair shop, and they said with these LG stackable washer and dryers, they don't even fool with repairing them. Warranty work is months in the making, and that's also for crazy making because I don't have time to wait for washing and drying. So within all of that, I dropped the idea of emailing back the plumbing contractors. I thought it must be the washer. The plumbing contractor idea was in my head for like 24 hours and it was on my list. I was like, okay, I gotta email their supervisor and have them come at least look at it. Within all that, we replaced the washer, and I called our original contractor who did our third bathroom downstairs, and he is here today to rip out the drywall and to pull up the floor and to get the dryers and the dehumidifier, just make sure everything is dried on all levels. and then replace everything. But just looking at it downstairs with him, he does not see where water has come through the ceiling, like from the washer, and he doesn't see any evidence that it was the washer. I needed the washer situation fixed anyway. He is thinking more it might be where they cut into the main line to add the little T connector to add the other line, and someone potentially maybe didn't have the water turned off and water leaked from there over several days, because you can also see on that trim around the tub where there's like a 1/2 inch water line. So I don't really know. I'm busy doing my mama things, not supervising the downstairs bathroom. But people kept telling me things were happening down there. Something definitely did happen down there. So the ceiling above is damaged. Anyway, drywall can be torn out. Everything can be dried. Things can be replaced. The floors can be dried. That's, again, these rubber floors that we're getting everywhere that look like hardwood. Apparently they can be dried and reused. So all of that gets back to the story of why I ran and left my onions to talk to him real quick and make sure my mom knew he was here and he's getting started working. He's going to take pictures for me, and I'm going to just tell the story and send it back to the other plumbing contractors. And we're paying to have the bathroom repaired anyway. Maybe it was my washer, maybe it was the connectors, maybe we'll never know. But just another little real life side note of some things I'm spinning over here along with these burnt onions. Nothing better than party plates left over from a baby shower. Alrighty, so here is this dinner with the Denver Scramble and some buttered toast. Just note, we do still have some bread left, So if you were feeding this to your family, if it's a family my size, you will still have bread and butter left to add more pieces of toast. And we probably have about 6 to 8 servings or so left for anyone who would like more. Obviously, I have teenagers and big kids and adults too, so they might need a second helping. Younger kids, you know, this plate here alone for my 4-year-old, my 7-year-old, or even my 9-year-old would be enough. So not everyone will need more, but some people who do, there is some left, and there's also more buttered toast. Yay! Alrighty, so we are doing an Instant Pot Mexican rice with pinto beans recipe. Of course, me here cooking it, there's a slight adaptation, but this is everything that we need to get started. To kick it off, I'm going to get this onion chopped, then we're going to saute it in the Instant Pot and get rolling from there. Alrighty, so I turned the saute mode off. I'm going to sprinkle in a half teaspoon of garlic powder and stir that up. Coming through. In this particular recipe, you need to add in, if you're doing 4 cups of rice, you do 8 cups of liquid with it. If you have beef broth or chicken broth available, you can certainly use that, and it's a lot of flavor to the rice. At this point with this particular grocery haul, I didn't have any other broth available based on this frugal grocery haul that we did. So I've added 8 cups of water. You will see though, adding it in with the saute onions, I mean, we can get behind this. This can be some onion broth, right? We are also going to go ahead and add in our cumin and our chili powder. And so now for our next trick, we're adding in our 4 cups of rice. And then we are going to add in 2 cans of pinto beans. Now at this point, absolutely do not stir. Resist the urge to stir. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna do 2 cans of pinto beans and then our can of tomatoes at the top. If I could find my Instant Pot lid, we'd be doing well, but no worries. I know it's here somewhere. And we are going to put it on manual, and we're going to do about 22 minutes. Yay! Cook some good beans and rice. is so good, I've been eating it while I've been serving it. So go mama go. Remember, if you have extra shredded cheese, you can add that to the top of these recipes. If you have a little bit of chicken or ground beef or another kind of protein that you would like to add, it would go phenomenal with this. This is super yummy as a meal on its own. I'm just throwing additional ideas at you. This would also be really good with tacos if you had some tortillas or taco shells as well. Also, a little dollop of sour cream. Lots of ways you can doctor it up, but here we go with our Mexican rice and pinto beans in the Instant Pot. Yay! And don't forget, friend, to click the first link in the description below and to get my brand new How I Feed My Family of 11 for $100. Again, under $100 for free. All you have to do is click that link and sign up, and I will get that right back out to you. It includes many extra frugal grocery and frugal meal ideas. It has the exact grocery list that I shopped for these recipes. It has the recipes included, bonus links, resources, and much more. So go ahead, friend, click that first link in the description below and make these frugal dinners for your family too.